It's Friday. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live training of eIMMIGRATION. My name is Vanessa Vargas. On behalf of Cerenade, I want to thank you for joining us today. And so today we're covering client portal related features. I'm so excited because it's been a long time and people have asked about this training. It's a live training. I'm a real person, but we are recording it so you can watch the video later. If you can please subscribe to our YouTube channel today, you can receive notifications when we upload the videos. And we also appreciate when you hit the like button. Also, we have been advised by our friends at GoToWebinar to use Chrome, especially if you're a Mac user. So you cannot use Safari. Please use another browser. Even better, you can download the application for GoToWebinar and you can watch the videos that we're going to be playing today. Today's PowerPoint presentation is available. If you download it, you can click on Handouts and you can download. So let's get started. I have a lot of things I want to share with you. So client portal related features, we always start with the basic three steps because at the end of the day, I mean, it's all related. We want to make sure you guys are using the system properly, how to create a contact, how the data stored in the database. Oops, I am so sorry. And how to link the members so that their data also transfers to the forms. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put my out of the office status. Okay, sorry about that. So the next step after you create the contact and you link the family members is to create the cases so that you can work with forms. Okay, and those are the basic three steps. I put the links right here so you guys can click on them and you can learn if you're new. I had a poll in progress before we started, and most of you are not new clients, so I'm gonna skip that for today. And we're gonna start with how to send questionnaires. Before we go there, let me switch my screen to show you the caseworker portal. So we talked about having the contact. Since you guys already know how to create the contact, I'm just gonna go straight to search the contact. When you have the contact and you want to send them a questionnaire, you can click on create questionnaire and then you can send it to them uh, either to the client portal, which is what we're going to see today, or we also have the option to send it through the passwordless link. We also have the anonymous questionnaires, which is another topic. We have another video, by the way, if you go to the YouTube channel, it's about questionnaires. And for those who handle mostly employment-based cases, I highly recommend you guys use the anonymous one because you can create a hyperlink and send it via bulk email, or you can even put that on your website. But anyways, let's play the video. Again, if you were using Safari, hopefully you'd switch to Chrome by now. And let's play the first video. Again, if you're using Safari, you won't be able to see this video, so please switch to the other browser. So how to send questionnaires from eIMMIGRATION, and then we're going to show you what happens from the client's perspective, how they answer those questionnaires. I'm going to play the video and you guys can message me if you have any questions at any point. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to our Cerenade video. In this video, we will discuss sending out questionnaires and intake forms. From the home page, click on the quick links, and from there select Questionnaires. A pop-up will appear giving us some options from emailing the questionnaire, printing and viewing the questionnaire, and lastly the ability to create an anonymous questionnaire link to be able to plug into your website. If we click on Print and View, it will list all your questionnaires and intake forms. You can go into one by clicking on the Open button. And from inside, you can print. Also, something to note is you can change the language on the questionnaire. Your clients will also have the ability to view them in different languages. Let us exit the print view and proceed to select Email the questionnaire. You'll be asked to either locate a client profile or create a new one. If we create a new client profile, a pop-up will appear asking for some details about the client. Once you have added some info, proceed to click on Create Contact. Our client will be listed, but we must now create some login credentials for the client. These will be the credentials they will use for the client portal. If you've entered an email, the email will be listed here. The username also defaults to the email. However, you can insert any username you would like. The password is automatically generated, but same as a username. You can uncheck the auto-generate password and insert your own. Proceed to click on Save. You should now be prompted to a default email. Your client's email is already listed and the message is already set. You have the option of adding more details to the message or even selecting a letter template you created in the admin portal. If everything looks good, proceed to click on Email. Your client has now received the email to access the client portal, but we still haven't selected the questionnaires. The next screen prompts us to select it. When we click Select Questionnaires, all the questionnaires and intake forms you created will be listed. You can choose to check from the list here, or if you associated questionnaires to a case process, select that process, and it will list those questionnaires and intake forms. Once you have those questionnaires and intake forms selected, proceed to click on Save. The client will now be able to see the questionnaires you selected. You will be prompted to another screen where you can notify the client about the questionnaire you just sent, and even send another email about the credentials, in case you were sending questionnaires to a client who has not used the client portal in a while. Once finished, you can click on Close. It is now up to your client to answer and submit those questionnaires. If you ever need to see what they have done on the questionnaire, you can go into your mailbox, and from the mailbox, go to your outbox. Those questionnaires will be there with the last saved info. You can also view the information in their client profile. If you go to the Documents tab, there is a Questionnaires Form section where it will show any questionnaire that has been sent to the client. Once your clients submit the questionnaires, they will appear in your mailbox, specifically the inbox, and from there, you have the option of accepting. This concludes our video on sending questionnaires.
Now, if you want to see the status of the questionnaires, you can go to Documents, Questionnaires, and Forms, and you can see those questionnaires that you have sent to the client, what the status is. You can click and kind of preview or spy on the client and see what the status is or the progress. And in fact, you can also, sorry, it's actually taking longer because I have so many. Here we go. So you can, if I sent a questionnaire or a form to the client and I don't want to wait until they send it back to me, I can click here where it says submit on behalf of client and accept. So basically it's like bringing the questionnaire back with whatever data they were able to capture, to enter. All right, so now I'm gonna show you the video on how to how the clients answer the questionnaires and they submit. So give me 1 second. I do have a question. Can you scroll down so we can see the rest of the screen? Yes, of course. Hold on. Let me. How do I share my screen one more time? Okay. So what I did, I clicked on select and then I clicked here, submit on behalf of client and accept. Is that what you wanted to see? Can you scroll down so we can see the rest of the screen? Yeah, so I have so many questions. That's why the rest of the screen is basically, yeah. Okay, great. You're welcome. Yeah, so it's kind of, again, the way I see it is like you're spying to see if they have done their homework or not. You can send a questionnaire, and when they modify the questionnaire, it's going to change the date right here. Or it could be also a form. All right, so let's go back to the video and again, message me if you have any other questions, okay?
Hello, and welcome to our Cerenade video. In this video, we will help you access and answer the questionnaire sent to you by your caseworker. You should have received an email with login credentials to access what we call the client portal. Please locate that email, which will take you to the site, and input those login credentials. You are now inside the client portal. You will immediately see items in your inbox. Let us click on it. You will now see a list of questionnaires to choose from. Let us go into one by clicking on the Edit button to the left. You are now inside the questionnaire. To answer the questions, simply click on the editable boxes and input your answer. You will go one by one answering the questions as best as you can. Let us now focus on the black toolbar up top with different functions you can apply. The first button is the Save button. This button allows you to save and come back at any time to finish the questionnaire. Once completing the questionnaire, you will go to the next button, which is the Submit to Caseworker button. Once you've hit the Submit button, You will no longer have access to enter information as it has now been sent to the person handling your case. The next button is a print button, in case you want to print this. The last setting on the questionnaire is the language. The software offers more than 10 languages to choose from, and when selecting the desired language, both the instructions and the questions transfer to that language. Once you are done filling out this questionnaire, you will hit the Submit button. If you have other questionnaires to answer, proceed to repeat the steps mentioned on this video. This concludes our video on answering questionnaires in the client portal.
Obviously, that's a question. I mean, that's a video we have available for your clients. When they log in into their portal, they do have on the top right help button with the user's guide. And this is where they can see the videos that we offer. Now, some of these videos might be still showing the old user interface. We are working on updating these videos. But anyways, let's go back to the caseworker portal. Once they submit the questionnaire to you, you go to your mailbox and you're going to here where you can accept or reject it. Okay, let me switch my screen. So we talked about how to send the questionnaires and how clients can answer those and submit back to you. I would like to show you also how to share the form or forms as HTML so that you can work on the form, maybe add your sticky notes, your observations, and then share that with your clients so they can make corrections on the form or simply review. For this, I'm accessing the case. By the way, we have the shortcut. It's called load more data. So I can go straight to any of these forms or the forms checklist. I always recommend to click on the client's name so you can keep it handy next to the actual case window. Sorry, there's a question. What is going to happen if I reject the form or the questionnaire, you mean, right? If I reject it. What happens is when you reject it, let's go back to the mailbox. So the question being asked is regarding, let's say this one, history of address. So we got this questionnaire and I open it and I see that he didn't enter data. He's missing information. So when you click reject or send it back to the client instead of accepting it, you get the opportunity to choose what the delivery method is. I want to send it back to the client portal, or do I want to send this questionnaire or intake form back to the client with a passwordless link, which means that it could go via email, text message, or maybe you want to copy and paste the URL with and paste it on you and sorry WhatsApp. I mean, there's many other ways. But if you want to send it to the client portal, you click here, send them an email letting them know I'm rejecting the questionnaire because it looks like you forgot to complete blah blah blah. And then the client will have access to the questionnaire again. So it's just enabling the access. Oh, thank you for the question. You're welcome. All right, so let's continue. Going back, let me go back to the case. Uh-huh. So I'm at the case window, and let's say I want to show them the I-130 that I just worked on. On my form, what I did, I have these observations, notes or sticky notes that you guys can click on and add. Hey, is this correct? I have questions, blah, blah. I always recommend that if you want to share a form, regardless if it's going to be a PDF or if it's going to be, in this case, an editable HTML format, add a post-it on the very first page, as big as possible, so that your clients can see it and they don't miss it, with all your notes and observations and instructions. So let me save it. I'm going to close the form and I'm going to select the form because I want to share that form with my client. I can share more than one form at the same time. You're going to select and then click on email forms as read-only PDF if you don't want them to make changes, or you're going to click on email forms as editable HTML, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send them an email. Please access your client portal to review forms. Please excuse my spelling when I'm typing. Typing fast. Um, okay. Please access your client portal to review forms. I select who's the recipient. I can also change my message template. Maybe I want to send something in Spanish. By the way, the letter templates auto-populate, so this is going to save you a lot of time. I'm going to click email. By doing that, the form has been enabled on their end. It's kind of like a tennis court, I guess. It's on their side. So now look, if I try to open the form, see how it has a little envelope. That's how you can tell which forms they have access to. If you try to open it, you can only open that in a read-only mode, or you have to delete their access. Whatever copy, if they have made modifications, you're gonna lose that. So just beware. Now let me show you what happens when the clients access that form. Let me refresh. By the way, clients have a different URL. It's not like they're going to, they don't see what you see. It's a different portal, different access. It's only whatever you choose to share with them. Okay. So here's the mailbox from the client portal. They have access to the questionnaires and the forms that we just shared. So let's open the form. And this is exactly why I like to share the sticky note, because it's super obvious that they can respond. By the way, they can reply back to you. And let's say that you have questions for them, like observations, like is this your correct country of birth? So they can make corrections here, um, anywhere. In fact, they can just make corrections. And then when they're done, again, as the video explained, you can print, or they can print, they can save and work on this at a later time, or they can submit, which is what I'm going to do. When they submit, we let them know the questionnaire or form was sent or submitted successfully. And if they do have another one, it tells them, do you want to go to the next one? So that it opens the next form or questionnaires they have pending. So it's not like, oops, I didn't know or I missed it. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But just so you know, they do get this kind of like warning pop-up window. Anyway, so once they send, you guys get an email from us letting you know, hey, you've got a new item. So when you log in into your caseworker portal, you go to your mailbox, you go to questionnaires and forms, and here they are. You've got the form or questionnaire. You're going to select open. It tells you this is the only thing that doesn't highlight, but look, any other changes applied by the client are in red. I really like this feature because I can click and it tells me on the top left what was the original value. By the way, when clients modify a form, it's not going to modify the database compared to what questionnaires do. When you guys send a questionnaire to a client and they make changes just like, I did on the form, and you accept the questionnaire, we do update the database, the profile. But if it's a form or an intake form wizard, no, it's going to stay only on this form. So I will accept. It also tells me you've got another questionnaire submitted by the same client, and so I can go to that questionnaire and review and accept or reject, which I'm not going to do right now. I'm going to take you guys back to her contact profile. I go straight to her cases, and I go straight to the recent case that I was just working on. So those are the shortcuts that you guys can take. See how the I-130 doesn't have the envelope anymore versus the I-45, which I have not approved yet, or they haven't submitted yet. So when I open the I-130, everything's there. My sticky notes, their comments, their changes, of course, right? Unless, of course, you want to revert or restore. For example, this was a clear mistake. So I can click here to restore the value and bring it back to the correct uh, value. I mean, I can click and it says restore. Same thing here. I'll restore. You can always restore anything that they overwrote. Anyway, so let me just save my form. And that's how you send the forms as editable HTML. Let's go to the next slide. we're going to show you how the messaging module works, billing, custom reports, and how to share documents with the clients. Please message me if you guys have any questions. I appreciate that. Okay, messaging is another optional module. For those who don't know, we have different plans for both ECMS and eIMMIGRATION. And depends on the plan that you have. Let me pick eIMMIGRATION. So just as a refresher and for you guys to understand what's standard versus optional. Give me 1 second. It looks my internet. I'm gonna switch my internet connection. I have two providers, so give me 1 second. There we go. Uh, you should be able to hear me again. So the question here is, would you be able to show us how to send intake via text message? For example, how to set up text messaging in Cerenade? Thank you. Yes, so make sure that you have access to that module. So this is what I wanted to show you. And we have three different plans. And if you don't have SMS, you won't be able to send a text message. So how do I know if I have that or not? Go to your caseworker portal, click on subscription details, and scroll down to where it says SMS, and you should have an expiration date. That means that you do have access to that module. So the way it works, you're gonna go to send questionnaire. You're gonna find the client. So I'm gonna find, I don't know, let's send it to Valeria. Make sure that they have access to the portal, even if you're not going to send them a username and password. So I'm going to uncheck this option. It's actually right here, recommended to uncheck when sending passwordless link. So I uncheck that and I save. And now I can send that intake form with a passwordless link. This is what you were saying, that send it via text message. So I'm going to pick the questionnaires that I want to send. Let's say adjustment of status questionnaire before the consultation. I'm going to click save, and then I pick, oh, you know what? This client doesn't have a cell phone. So anyways, it's the same thing. When you have a client with a cell phone, you can send them the text message. In this case, she doesn't. She has an email address, so I can send that same link via email. So you're going to click here to copy the link and replace it. You're not sending them to the portal. You're sending the link specifically for that questionnaire or that intake form, and then email it. Now, let me show you. Let me pick a client that has a cell phone. Let's pick a Maria Guzman. All right, so Maria Guzman cell phone is going to be 555-666-777. Let's change this one. All right, now we have Maria's cell phone here. I make sure that she has access to the portal. Even though she's not going to access, I need to create it, and I'll show you why. So the login name is going to be Maria, password 1234, and I'll create the access. See how at the bottom it says access to send SMS? So make sure that you enable it, so in case they want to text back to you, you allow them to send text messages. Anyway, so once we do that, now we can create the questionnaire, send it to Maria right here, choose to send it via the passwordless link, and I'm going to pick the questionnaire that I want to share. It could be more than one. And then you click save. Now I can send it via SMS. So here's a questionnaire, and I don't want to include my name, so I'm just going to keep it as message from the office of Cerenade, and boom, you send it. When they send it back to you, it's the same process. You get an email, you go to your mailbox, and you get that from your questionnaires and forms. You have to accept the questionnaire in order for the data to populate the profile. We do have videos on the passwordless link. I didn't put that on my PowerPoint because today is actually related features for the client portal. But you can go to the user's guide if you're interested in learning more about that. And I think I put that also on the did you know slide. So you can watch the video there too. All right, so messaging. I was saying that messaging is more secure than sending an email, and it's one of our optional modules. So if you want to have access, you need to subscribe to that optional module. And it's actually really not a lot between plans A, B, or C. So I always suggest to get at least plan B or plan C with unlimited storage. But anyways, that's another conversation. um, when you guys want to message a client, go to the contact. It's a lot easier if you want to also search for specific messages. You have on the left hand side your mailbox. Every time they message you, it's not an email, but again, it's kind of like an email. You have an internal inbox where you can see the emails that you get from, or the messages, sorry, that you get from the clients, and or it could also be a caseworker. The caseworkers can also message each other. So I can say, send a message to caseworker, let's say Kevin. So I'm going to pick, and I can message multiple caseworkers at the same time. See, I'll just need to type their name and I can send a message to multiple caseworkers at the same time. And this is more secure than sending an email. But anyways, today we're talking about clients. So I'm going to also include um, my client, and I'm going to pick, interesting, which one is it? Well, all right, I'll just pick this one. So I can include both caseworkers and clients. When I'm done, I click done and I can send the message from here. If I want them to be alerted by a text message, I can click here to send a mobile alert. Just because they're probably not connected to their client or caseworker portal, so I can send them a text message. And you can also click here to link either the client or the case profile. So maybe this message is to let them know, hey, the case was approved, and so I want to link my message to this case, 541. So when I do that and I go to the logs, I can see the message, the copy of the message in that specific case. When the client logs in into their client portal, they go to messages and they're going to see that message right here. Okay. All right. So of course they can reply back. They can send a message from their client portal. Again, this is more secure than sending a regular email because everything is encrypted and we work with Microsoft Azure. Now let's talk about billing. Today I'm not going to cover how to create an invoice because that's a separate training. What we want to show you is how clients make payments. So I'm going to play the video so you guys can see what's the perspective from the client's end, how they can make payments, and then we're going to talk about reports and how to upload documents. Sorry, I'm reading a question. Can you also send documents to clients? Yes, we will talk about that in a moment. Let me just play this video and I'll get back to you.
Hello, and welcome to our Cerenade video. In this video, we will show you how to pay your invoice emailed to you by your caseworker. Let us access the client portal. If you do not have access to the client portal, you may ask your caseworker to supply you with the link and login credentials. You are now logged in and will see an Invoices tab. You will now see all invoices you need to make a payment on. You will see 3 buttons next to the invoice. One is to see the invoice, one is to pay the invoice, and the third is any payment plan applied. If wanting to view the invoice, click the Open button, and you will be brought into the invoice. This is the same invoice emailed to you. The next button will review is your payment plan. When clicked, it will bring up details of your payment plan such as due date, current balance, any overdue balance, payment amount due, and so forth. Once you are ready to make a payment, you will click on the dollar amount. Depending on the settings your caseworker has, you can either enter a payment card or banking information. If choosing payment card, you will enter the amount, either the whole amount or the ones seen in the payment plan details, the card number, the expiration date, the security code, your billing street address, and your billing zip code. Once added, you will click Apply. If going the ACH route, you will enter the amount, the routing number, the accounting number, the account type, and account holder type. Once finished, click Applied. Once applied, the payment has now been submitted. This concludes our video on making a payment in the client portal.
So obviously, again, that's a video we have available for the clients to understand how to pay you. When the clients, and this is up to you if you give them access or not, but when the clients have access, they can not only pay their invoices, but also they can deposit funds into the trust account. Sorry, there's a question. Is there a way to set up late fees for payment plans? Good question. No, we don't have that, but it's been suggested. I'm not sure how soon that's going to be available, but we always pass your feedback to our developers, so I'll let them know. You're not the first one who requests that, and again, I'm not sure if that's coming soon or not, but it has been definitely suggested for automatic late fees to an existing invoice instead of creating multiple ones. Actually, thanks for the reminder. All right, so if I want the clients to deposit funds into the trust account, you can enable that feature. How do you do that? Well, go to the contact profile. Let's search for the contact. I'm going to use the shortcut, the load more data, because I want to go straight to client access. And then here, I can say allow, or I can disable the option for them to deposit funds into the trust account. Okay. So you have always a control when it comes to client access. You can always delete, disable, you can change the password, you can set an expiration date, um, even put a watermark in case you print the forms that has your stamp on it. Anyway, so you have the option to allow or block some of these features. So let's talk about the next one, which is custom reports. With custom reports, once I create the report, which is, by the way, done via the admin portal, once I create the report, let me quickly show you. I'm going to open the admin on a separate tab. When you guys access the administrative portal and you go to the report templates, when you create your report, let's say you have an employer who's interested in seeing cases or statuses or like any expiration dates for their employees. So when you create a report template, on the right hand side, it says client access. So make sure that you give them access to the report. It doesn't mean that every employer or every individual client will have access to this particular report. When you create the report and you select client access, individual or business or both, when you go back to the other window, even if they have access to see reports, you have to select which reports. So maybe I want to show files uploaded by departments or expiration dates or passport numbers. I don't know. So you can choose which reports they have access to. And obviously, it's only data that pertains to them, either like family members that have been linked or employees that have been linked, and they can only see that information, not information for other clients. Okay. All right. So for the reports, once I give them access to access the share reports and I choose which reports they can see, let's refresh so you guys can see what happens. Now they can access the report. So they can again only see the family members. These are family members like children or spouse, or and I'm sharing the passport number. This is a simple report, an example, but you guys can create. Let me show you another example for an employer. If I if I log in as the HR manager, or cases by employer, or what's the last comment or status on a case, I can search for the employee and it tells me what the last modified comment, case number. You can do obviously more than that, but it's super helpful because the clients can download the report instead of calling you for information or you having to draft that email. You can just allow that report to for them to access it. So anyways, Now let me show you how clients can upload documents from the client portal. But before I show you that, I want to show you how to share the checklist. So let me access the case. Again, I'm going to use the shortcut, load more data, and go straight to documents. This documents checklist, you can customize it. Even if you have the default list, you can always add more documents. When you have the checklist, you select them. You could be just one or all of them or just a few. And then click Share with Clients. Select who you want to share with. Click Next and then email them. It's optional. You may not want to send an email. Maybe you have the client in front of you or on the phone. But just so you know, you can send them an email letting them know, hey, I need you to upload these documents. When you send that, let me close. Clients will log in into their portal. Let me log in as her. They're going to click on Share Documents, and they're going to see the checklist that you just shared. In fact, if I go to the last page, they're right here. So they can see exactly what you need from them, and they can click on Upload a Document. So it's really easy because they can just select, click and drag. Well, I'm using two monitors, but they can drag and drop multiple files at once, and they can choose which file this belongs to or which case. If this is case, I don't know, 541 pay stub, this is case 341, blah, blah, blah. So they can link it specifically to that, let's say, passport or that document. It's easier for you because you don't have to draft the email and wait for them to upload or attach to an email. Then you have to download to it. This is a win-win. When you share with the clients, it's easier for them also to simply drag and drop and then simply tell you, okay, this is my visa or this is my W-2, or and then just upload on your end. When they upload, you're gonna see the files. Actually, let me upload these. I'll delete them later. uh, you know what, I don't really want to do that because I'm uploading to different cases. Let me just use one example, the 541. Okay, so let's just upload this pay stub supposedly to case 541. When they upload, okay, I'm gonna close. On your end, if you want to get an email, by the way, from us letting you know you've got new documents from this client, make sure the client profile has under client access, sorry, under case workers. Say, go to the contact profile, click on case workers, and make sure that this box is checked. Caseworker receives an email automatically when the clients upload files. Okay, so if you want to get, or maybe you don't want to get the email, you can uncheck that. Anyway, so when the client uploads the file, let's go back to case 541 and go to the documents. Here's the file. See, you don't have to do anything but just wait until they upload. And I like the fact that, the clients upload, I just receive, and if I do need to download, I can just select them all and then download as a zip folder if I want to keep that in my computer. Okay, but this is definitely a great feature to utilize when you guys gather the documents from the clients. Now, I'm going to show you how the clients can upload their documents in the client portal. Let me play the video and let me know if you guys have any questions at any point.
Hello, and welcome to our Cerenade video. In this video, we will show you how to upload documents in the client portal. By going this route, all documents can be shared through here as opposed to emailing them. Let us log into the client portal. You should have received an email with login credentials to access what we call the client portal. Please locate that email, which will take you to the site, and input those login credentials. Once inside the client portal, you will go to the Shared Documents tab. From here, you will click on Add Documents. A batch upload box will appear. You will now open a window from your desktop and highlight the documents you wish to upload. You will then drag the files onto the batch upload, where they will then be listed. Please note, if you are doing this through a phone or a tablet, you can click on the upload area, which will take you to your image files, and proceed to select the documents, and in similar fashion, the documents will be listed. The last thing to do here is select what type of file is this in the drop-down menu. By default, there is the option to select New Client Documents. However, if a document checklist has been shared with you, you can select the document that applies. Once you've made a selection for each document, you will finalize by clicking Upload. Your documents have now been uploaded, and your caseworker will be notified via email. You will see the uploaded documents here. Before we end this, please note that if a questionnaire has been sent to you, you also have the ability to upload documents in similar fashion within the questionnaire. Any questionnaire sent to you will be in your inbox. Once inside the inbox, click on the questionnaire you'd like to work on. If you scroll down to the bottom, you will see an option to upload a document. Then, click on Add Document. The batch upload will appear. You can then proceed to upload how we saw earlier. You can either upload files through here in the questionnaires or in the shared document section. Those image files will ultimately go to your caseworker. This concludes our video on uploading documents.
So let me know if you guys have any questions about, how to send and how to receive the documents from your clients. Now, I want to show you how to create and share a log, which, by the way, it's a read-only access. So when you guys create a log, it's up to you if you want to share that with the client or not. So if I create a comment, let's say, you know what, I don't want to recover this one. So let's say, by the way, you can customize this drop-down menu. So in fact, I always recommend you do customize it, because in the future, it's a lot easier to run a report and use these types of logs as your criteria to be more organized. And let's say I've got some legal advice, or there's been an update regarding the case. I'm going to pick updates as my category, and this is very important. I don't know, case was approved. I can change this. If you notice, you have a lot of different options right here. So different font, different size. I'll just make it super, oh, not that big. Anyways, so let's say that I want to share this with the client. So I can click here to share with both the petitioner and the beneficiary. When I click save and close, and they go into their portal and they click on share logs, we have two sections, either client logs or case logs, which is the one that I just created. And that's why it's right here. And that's why, you can create a comment maybe for in general or specific to the case. That's why you have both. Okay. Now, it's only access, it's a read only access. If they click here, they can see it, but it's not printable. It's not, they can't delete. And that's why we have messaging in case they want to message you. Okay, so that's the ability for you to share a log. Now, for those who handle employment-based cases, I highly recommend you guys get the case initiation request. This is another, excuse me, this is another module. The case initiation request allows the employer, or in this case, let's say I'm the HR manager, instead of sending you an email, I can choose a template. This could be a different type of process, a different scenario like an adjustment or an update, and I can send you information about the employee, the potential applicant. This is also customizable. So I can choose a process or the case type, send the information through this form instead of an email. For you, it's a lot easier because you don't have to retype the information. You don't have to create the contact for the employee. We actually create the contact and link it to the employer automatically for you once you accept the case. And of course, we trigger the case wizard. So you're like on your way to create the H-1B case. I highly recommend you guys consider this optional module. Again, it's called Case Initiation Request. When they submit the form, it's very similar to what happens with the questionnaires and forms. You do need to access your caseworker, go to your mailbox and access here the questionnaires and forms, and you're going to see the case initiation request form right there. Okay. Now, for employers, if you want them to send questionnaires to their employees, let me pick or find, I'm going to search for a business client. It's the same process. You create a contact profile for them. And when you go to client access, you can determine what type of access they have. So I can say, you know what, allow to send questionnaires or not. Allow access to the reports, which ones, etc. So I'm going to say yes, they can send questionnaires. And when they log in and they click here, questionnaire, they can enter the information for the I was going to say the paralegal, the employee, right? And they can send the questionnaire. They can also choose which questionnaires. So I'll say just 5 address history or history of employment. And then I'll just click send. It goes on behalf of the corporation. Okay. So this is optional if you want to give them permission to send questionnaires to their employees. The next module that I want to show you is the Acuity integration. It's another optional module. You do need to have an account with Acuity, and it allows your clients to click on this calendar to see what your availability is. Let me access a different client. Yeah, this one shows. So in my example, it says Serenade Support 7 or Support 1. You can have one for consultations or I don't know, meeting for prep up before court hearing or something like you can have different calendar types, different appointment types. Or it could be also different attorneys. I want an appointment with attorney 1, attorney 7. So it shows if they are central time, eastern time, they can pick the time zone and they can see the availability. They choose a time and they schedule their um, appointment. So this is what we use actually for trainings and demos. Yeah, let me close this. We highly recommend it if you guys are not using anything for your appointments. Again, it's considered one of the optional modules and it's called Acuity Scheduling. The one that I explained as well is right here, case initiation request, as well as messaging. Of course, if you guys want to take payments, you need to have the credit card processing module along with billing to create the invoices and share access so they can pay you online. And of course, we have more features. This one, I just thought about it, but it's in a way related to the client portal. So let me explain. The USCIS Visa Bulletin Times Tracker allows you to enter the receipt, the notice, and we check every night against the USCIS processing times table and the Visa Bulletin websites. As long as you add the information here. So let's say you've got the receipt notice, the filing date, the classification, all the details, right? The center, the form. So I'm going to just pick the information and we auto populate from their table online. So again, if you want to share with the client right here, click share with client. And what happens is, and you can even add the actual file, the JPEG or PDF. And what happens is when you share with them and they log in into their client portal, let me log in. You're going to click on Share Documents, and there's a section for USCIS receipts right here. Case USCIS receipts. So if they click on the link, well, right now we're working on the update because it has been enhanced on their end. This is definitely a fake receipt, but you and your clients are going to get this pop-up window with information related to the case. So stay tuned. But again, this is actually already um, available if you want to, meaning the actual feature, like the times tracker feature, you guys can subscribe and get that email notification when the case is eligible for processing. All right, so let's proceed to resources and support. What happens when I have questions now? It's not the same as me showing you than you doing it for sure. So you can call us Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, except on holidays. You can also email us 24/7. You can also click on your home screen. There's a section for technical support where you can message us. In fact, you can also send your feedback to developers and let them know if you like or dislike any areas of the software. We have the user's guide. I put the link right here. You guys can access that faster from here. Even better, bookmark it to your browser window. We have these trainings for free live on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have a podcast. It's called Serenade Snacks. In fact, if you guys are interested in participating, maybe you're an expert in a specific area, please let us know. So we'd love to have you in our podcast. We have our Facebook forum page. I also highly recommend you join because you can interact with other users. And of course, our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, click on the link, click on the red button to subscribe, and hit the bell so you can get the notifications when we have new videos. If you have questions, you can submit them now. These are some of the questions that you guys sent prior when you registered. So, how to send a form to clients for additional information. There are two ways to send the form, either read-only PDF as we learned today, or editable HTML. You select the form or forms that you wish to share and click on the desired delivery method. And then I put the link right here if you guys want to watch the video on that. I love this question. I want to help my office understand how to best utilize this database and move away from using Excel as a database. I love that question because it's really sad when I see clients using the system only for forms. I always use the analogy of buying a really nice car just to sit there and listen to the radio, and you're not driving the car, you're not using eImmigration to its full potential. So, thank you so much for those who reach out to us regarding how to, you know, um, invest or how to expand this option or the potential in your investment, how to better utilize the system. So, yes, thank you. E-immigration can help your staff work more efficiently if they enter the client's info into the client or the contact profile instead of typing directly on forms. And then you can generate the Excel reports. So let me show you. Let's go back to the caseworker portal. I've got the contact profile and I enter the data here. It's not just those fields. You can actually create custom fields such as marketing information. How did you hear about the law firm? Are you tech savvy? Best way to contact you, etc. It could also be regarding grant information if you are a nonprofit organization. Or it could be, custom fields that you want to connect to a form. We call that mapping. I can create a question. Oops, not that one. This one. I can create a question like, what's your full name in native alphabet? And I can also link that to the form. Number one, my forms will auto-populate. Number two, I can run a report to see how many clients, for example, are here because of Facebook. So I can run that report as a CRM. And when I say the report, you just go here. It could be a standard report or even better, get custom reports. But when you do standard reports, for example, you have reports for clients, cases, and if you have billing, of course, well, billing related reports. But let's say I want to see a report for how many cases do we have by form? How many cases did we complete for the DS 160 from January 1st until today? I can export to Excel. Let me just search that. See how it shows the form, the case number, clients, process, when the case was created. You can click then to export to Excel. So it's actually going backwards. What you guys are doing, you're working on an Excel, entering information directly into Excel, and you have to keep changing it every single time. So by doing what I was telling you, just make sure you enter the information, and this is how the Excel, by the way, looks like. Okay. So thank you so much for that question. I really hope that you guys can get organized and work as a team to better utilize e-immigration. And let me go back to my PowerPoint. How to create our own intake forms. I put the link right here. At the beginning, it might be something that seems tedious, but it's worth it. Trust me, when you create your own intake form and you can add your own, like, translation options, and you can map it to forms, it's gonna be a lot easier for you and your clients. You do need access to the admin portal to create intake forms. Here's the section I was telling you called Did You Know? So we have enhancements such as drag and drop, where you can drag things and drop them to reorganize. We've got the new intake forms. We used to have questionnaires, which was a different technology. So now they are in the same arena per se. They look exactly as the intake forms, and you can also copy our questionnaires and make them your own. We have the document folders. The timekeeper has been enhanced, as well as the e-filing module. So please click on these links. I hope that I have the. Oh, you know what? You guys can also request documents via passwordless link. So if you want to send it via text message and have them upload documents, not necessarily via the client portal, you can also do that. All right, so I don't have the passwordless link for questionnaires, but definitely it's similar to this one. So anyways, you can always access our user's guide. And these are the upcoming trainings for the month of August. So make sure that you click to register. And that's it. I really hope that you enjoyed and you learned something new today, that you enjoyed the webinar. Let me see if there are any questions. Um, I'm going to launch a poll. Let me know if your questions were addressed during the webinar, please. Awesome. Thank you so much. It looks like the majority of you, I've got 85% of the vote, so I'm happy with that. And do you plan on using the client portal? Do you use it or plan? Because some of you are new, so you probably have not, you haven't had a chance to log in. And this is the first time that you see a training or a demo. Great. Thank you so much. So the majority of you are planning, or they're, if not, they're already using the client portal. That's awesome. So thank you again for your time. We appreciate your time, and your satisfaction is our priority. So have a great weekend. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our social media outlets. We have different pages like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So you name it, TikTok. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Awesome. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Good to see you here. Oh, thank you. My pleasure. Bye. You too. So I got a question about how to change the logo on the client portal. That's really easy. Just go to your admin. If you, where's my admin? Go to your admin portal, click on application settings, and click on branding. So this is where you can upload your own logo. Make sure that it's 300 by 70 in GIF format only. And that way, when your clients log in, they're gonna see your logo here. Yeah, thank you for the question. All right, so I don't see any other questions. I'm gonna end the session. Again, have a great weekend, and thank you again for your time.